Hello and welcome to the Big Wit Podcast, guys. A show that brings you conversation driven by creativity, intellect, and humor. Now, today's guest is an absolute beast. He made to the headlines back in 2017, which went like, a newspaper seller's son saves money to buy a telescope and discovers an asteroid. An asteroid between Mars and Jupiter. That's a heck of a distance, guys. He's also working on a very foundational level in our country. He's working to promote innovative thinking in schools, colleges, and corporates. He's also driven and motivated to bring space science knowledge with a very interesting blend of technology and experiential learning. Now, we had a fortune of being at one of his labs, Spark Astronomy labs, and we brought that experience back for you guys. So sit back, get some water, and let's go on this journey. See you on the other side.
These are the three things that we have to control in life.
That's true.
My philosophy.
That's the basic needs too, no?
No, that's my philosophy. So that's how it works out. So. No. What I was about to say was the amount of, as I said, when we were talking about the idea, the entrepreneurship, I don't even know how to register a company, to be honest. Let me be very honest. I don't know even B for business. I have investors. I have some guys who are helping me out. And I know people, if I call them and I say, see, I'm stuck, they will solve it for me. But mine is to learn on the ground. The learning that you get on the ground is something that it always remains with you. I suddenly getting remembered this story. Somebody told me that they landed at the airport and they were going to some place and they saw an 86-year-old lady going to school, and the guy went to the 86-year-old lady and asked her that why do you go to school, and the 86-year-old lady says that the reason why I go to school is not to depend on somebody to ask where that bus is going.
That's the part.
Yeah, so for her it was not 80 lakh package. For her it was just a basic necessity.
Right? She doesn't want to be dependable on anybody.
Exactly.
She wants to be
So
independent.
the only lesson that I have learned from my 16 years old, when I was 16, I consider that as the first life lesson. I have a life lesson diary that I keep, and I keep writing what people have taught me. It can be bad and good. On a longer run, you should always remember the good memories. Bad memories somewhere needs to be required. So the reason why we can talk right now and we can discuss right now, because we both are educated. And the important part why I'm doing this conversation of this lady is to understand that education means very differently for everybody. And each one of us have a very different kind of education, different kind of setup, which is actually amazing. What is more important is that how much you're able to do after that education. Right?
Yeah.
So whether it's astronomy or whether it's any sciences, even if I start this company, I don't know, to be honest. I knew it will never fail. I actually knew from day one.
How did you know?
Because it caters the right audience. We don't do any advertisement.
Right. No, I haven't seen any yet.
You will never ever see any advertisement.
Like I saw one of the posts on LinkedIn, and it wasn't like very professionally, or it was just like you update someone who's taking care of your account. It's just like putting it out in text. Okay, we need these guys. 1, 2, 3, and that's like, are they really trying to hire somebody? It's just like a joke or something.
But if you look at our Instagram page, we don't even put anything. But when you come, and if an organization does this kind of work, they would literally make noise.
Yeah.
But I'm like, kaun machayega noise here, let's calm down, it will keep happening. It's like that.
You want to keep your head right at the work.
Yeah, like it's not like I don't.
You want to feed the fire, not the fumes.
Yeah. It's simple like that. It's like drink beer and sleep. Don't make noise.
Yeah.
Chapter is over. So, yeah.
That's true. But I still want you to talk. How did it all start, man?
Spark Astronomy The idea came because I wanted to pay my school fees. I made it to 9-8 colleges in the US. I made it to very good colleges. I made it to Harvard. I didn't make it to Harvard. But But when I was applying to Harvard, one of the Harvard professor who was helping me with an LOR, who was a mathematics professor, and he told me one line. He told me that college is for those people who don't have dreams. Well, you already have a dream. You don't need to come to college to fix that. Well, many dreams can be fulfilled in life without going to college. Well, your dream is...
That's a simple but powerful statement. Yeah.
He said that Harvard doesn't require you. You are already set. You don't need to come here.
And this was after the discovery or before?
After. This is 2019 story when I was applying for colleges for undergrad.
Okay.
I made it to good colleges.
Yeah.
I also got scholarship. But deep down there, I felt that I still had to take some loan. I felt that I want an education where I have to take a loan from the bank and go, and I have to repay that someday. I don't want that kind of education. I said, I will never go to college, but I'm not going to take any loan or something. I actually sat at home for 1 year. I was working and doing all stuff.
Yeah.
I taught at St. Stephen's also in between that, in Delhi. I taught multiple lectures at St. Stephen's after that. I taught at multiple colleges, multiple schools at that point of time. Nobody asked me for what college I do. पूछते थे ऐसा नहीं. So nobody's asking me where do you go to college. I said I do not go in college. Nobody's like, oh, why not go in college? कुछ कर नहीं पाओगे. ऐसे किसी ने nobody said to me that you can't do anything if you don't go to college. Because it's basically like that.
We can't deny that there's also a culture. That's being driven with that fear. You need that degree. You need that certain paper saying that okay, now you're good enough to go out there and get it done. It's just like, okay, you found that early on and you realize that okay, at the end of the day it's just a piece of paper, whatever the brand might be behind that paper, but it's a ground truth. But not only in our country, around the world, man. You have never really been a fan of going to college because the concept of taking a loan and going to college and then taking it over your head and paying it all your life is because you wanted to go to a college. So now you just have a piece of paper and an experience of 3 years from the loan that you took, and now you have to repay it, and then you gotta be in this system where you don't want to be. Where in the first place you went to college to not be there. So yeah, talk to me about that.
Basically, it's not like that. I'm not going to college. I like college, but everything is like a peer-reviewed paper in college. Somebody once asked me that what is an expert? So you're an expert in astronomy. Can you tell me that if this can happen? I said, an expert is someone who knows what was. He or she or they are really good at what was. If you ask them what will be, they cannot say what will be. They can say, I'm an expert of what was. How can I tell you what will be? Then why do I need you? The only reason we need to use an expert and college expertise is to get an idea of how to
educated decision.
College doesn't make you right, to be honest. It's actually a very, very clumsy world, to be honest.
Do you think, this might be a little bit on the controversial side, do you think education as a whole, schooling system, is homeschooling better than schooling system?
Was 100%.
100%.
Give your kid a telescope and a microscope. Leave them to the garden.
And that's something that they're already doing at Spark.
The problem is that the science doesn't happen in 4 walls. It happens outside world, man. This crap these guys are doing, and I'm just tied up with this, but that's how we have been slowly progressing.
But this is the kind of dialogue that we do need, man, because people watching out there, they'll be aware of this. That okay, you want to send your kid out there to this fancy school, that your ego might feel, okay, now my kid is studying in this XYZ school for the sake of it. But listen to the guy himself, guys. It doesn't happen in the 4 walls. You need to be out there. All you need is a couple of things. And we need more people like that. We need more spark around here in India. Back to you, Aryan.
Definitely. What most important thing is that your dreams are your wings that helps you to fly. Go face the world and reach for the sky. Because your dreams are only things that are going to help you out. And that's why you have to focus up. See, man, I think these are...
I swear this guy is not 21.
No,
like
let
he's
me tell you
like
one thing.
30 or 40.
फर्जी पढ़ा है नहीं दुनिया में मतलब सुबह 4 बजे उठ जाओ तो you will become successful and all that. That's how you don't become successful.
No.
I woke up at 8 o'clock. Yesterday I woke up at 12 o'clock. Tomorrow I might wake up at any time. What makes you... hard work doesn't make you smart. This term is hard work is nonsense. Smart work makes you smart. You need to do the smart work very smartly. That's how you will actually reach places. And if you do that, that's how you make it to places. Most of the time, most of the things that I've learned in my life is with the people. And that's where everything works up. Even in astronomy, most of the things that I've learned is observing with people, observing with things. So it's like that.
And what role has your mentors played in your life?
To be honest, one thing that I have always learned in my life is that you have to stand for yourself. आप और आपका आत्मविश्वास आपके साथ बस रहता है. You and your...
That's something your mentors taught you? या फिर आप...
No, even if my mentors taught me, but when the problem comes up is that none of the mentors will be there.
You gotta face it yourself.
Yeah. So when I'm sitting with you, when I'm sitting with anybody of you, each one of you is going to tell me something that I don't know. And that's how I get the idea of, okay, exactly that's how everything works out. Right? So each one of us learn something from each other.
Yeah.
And that's how it works.
Exchange information. That's
Yeah.
how, yeah. That's true. I've got a very interesting question.
Let me roll up.
Better get ready for this, man. Tell me, I mean, we had a small discussion about this. And I don't know the exact stats of this, but observable universe is like what, 7 or 8% that we have at the moment. 93 still remains that we have not had or mapped out yet. Do you think there's a parallel universe out there? And if there is, but recently James Webb Telescope got launched. I mean, not recently, but in terms of spatial time, pretty recently. What do you think? What kind of data would it bring? What changes are we looking forward for?
The data that we are looking is at optical astronomy and infrared astronomy. So when I think about that, is that basically looking at the far things. So a telescope works in a very different format. We often think that a telescope will send us a picture and we'll discover something. It doesn't work like that. Observations, years of observations. If I give you an example for black hole, what is a black hole? If you see the term, people will say a black hole is a place where light cannot reach. That's one of the properties of a black hole. That's not a black hole.
Right.
A black hole is a place when stars 10 times massive than our own sun, when it dies through a supernova explosion, it might form a black hole. Right? What is that? Black means which cannot be seen. You can never see a black hole because it cannot be seen. Then how do we come to a conclusion that there is a black hole? Observing a pattern. And then this property comes up because black hole starts eating the light. If I take out my camera, if I put on front of a black hole, if I put my flash, it will suck the flash, but the light will never capture. Do you get it? It will take the light inside it, but picture will still come back.
It's like a ditch, but you can't see where the ditch is.
Yeah, it's like that. So in the similar format, the universe is so massive, it's very hard to make a conclusion. That because science works on proof. I can tell you right now there is a parallel universe. You will ask me, give me the proof. I don't have the proof.
But I'm certain though.
Now it comes up, what is my opinion? My editorial opinion to this is basically, I often believe that there are thousands of 2 trillion of galaxies somewhere in the universe. Kahin na kahin there must be at least 1 by trillion chance the same reaction what happened on Earth might have happened on other planets, might have formed new organisms. I do feel that there is a life, but
there is. We've had so many UFO sightings.
The quest to find that, it still is going, and that's what the human capacity is. If you tell a human that you can't go on Mars,
but this is again like turning the other way around, because one approach might be we going out there, sending our machines, telescope, defined and way advanced satellites, giving us way when the universe started, if we are ever able to get there, that kind of data, maybe we are able to predict something more solidified around that. But there's also the other side where there's so many UFO sightings in the world. And not only now, if you read our historical and traditional religion books, there have been notified images and statements where they have identified flying objects before. What do you think? Are we lacking, or we don't have that? Some information is missing because civilizations before us, they definitely had something. Like look at Egyptian. Look at what happened when Ramayana happened, Mahabharata happened. All these things were still there. There were beings. हम भगवान बोलते हैं उन्हें, but there were beings coming from different dimensions, different realities. What do you think about that? Doesn't it boggle your mind?
That is something that has always fascinated me also. But I don't have a concrete answer to this that I can answer. But one thing that I often believe is that it's very hard to say if there is an alien or something like that. And it's very hard to describe if God is an alien. But somebody asked me a question, I suddenly got into my mind that what is the difference between science and God? And I said that science never says God and God never says science. The day science says it happens because of God and God says it happened because of science, both of the shop will get closed. Either you will go to one shop to buy that thing, or either you will go to buy that thing. So both of the shop are running very parallelly. Right?
Yeah.
But I don't mean that I need to disrespect any religion or something like that. But it's your choice, to be honest. Like, I don't believe in astrology. I don't believe in God, to be honest, if you ask me. But for me, humanity is God. So I consider humanity as a big self-reliance. So yeah,
I think it's at the end of the day, it's about service.
Definitely.
And whatever shape, form, manner, breed, race you find that in, that's your God.
To be honest, okay, let me make a very controversial statement. Okay, guys, nobody should get upset here. Any religion which has a book that you follow, that is dangerous. I don't like
defined rules.
Set defined rules. Any religion which says, like, if it says that, I have
should do this, should eat that,
have a book of my religion, it's a crap according to me.
And we don't know if God wrote it himself.
Exactly.
We
don't have any proof. We don't even know who named Earth as Earth.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
That's something that bothers my mind, man. But turns out that there was something that maybe we are not able to touch upon or scratch upon that there was in previous civilizations, because things were happening on a whole nother level, on a whole nother dimensional level, and we are just stuck here. I mean, we're advancing. We look at SpaceX and all these different orgs that corporations that are doing such great things. Like, I think 2050 is the term that Elon Musk coined for Mars.
2030.
30, right?
He's hoping for in 2025 only.
Yeah,
but
I don't think.
Somebody who has a lot of money, who is a businessman, he can do anything. So let's.
Yeah.
But it's very good if it happens in 2030 or 2025.
Why do you think it's good?
But the most important question is that I should go. Because it's happening in 2030 and 2025.
Okay.
It's fine.
No, but why do you think it's good?
Huh?
People have opinions on that too. Like, why do we need to go on Mars and civilize that planet? I mean, I see why. Maybe
there is no why.
Because essentially, I think I heard it. Like, he's gonna
create a habitable zone, something like that. So basically, it's not compulsory that we have to go.
Yeah.
But there is one man, or there is a group of a lot of people who's fascinated that they want to go. That's the reason you're doing it. If you tell a man you can't do it, you tell a kid what chuna nahi hai, you don't have to touch it, they will touch it. Because that's the curiosity. It's like
well, I mean, it's a great achievement for humanity. But yet, I think I don't want you to get caught up in the fact that to end poverty, we need, I think, 3 trillion or something in terms of money, right? To end that, for everyone to have a ideal, good life, and that's again another topic for another day.
Yeah.
But I guess at the end of the day, we just have to put the blinds on our eyes and hope we advance in some way, form, or manner, man.
Definitely. Even I'm very excited. Very excited.
Yeah, I mean, it is. We're going to be a galactic race after this. So, yeah. Tell me. Everyone's talking about multiverse, right? How do you think the astronomy community is taking it up? Are we expecting any changes in the way astronomy community works? How do you think astronomical community or the scientist community will adapt to multiverse? Because you guys are already in that realm. You guys are dealing it for real out there.
It's similarly excitement, disappointment, everything all together. Disappointment whether it happens or not, excitement that they really want to do it. So finding a multiverse is a very exciting opportunity. But of course, science takes long to discover it. I don't know whether we can find it this century or not. Maybe we'll find it tomorrow. Who knows? It's like that.
No. I meant multiverse as in Internet 3.0. How?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's all good.
My bad.
It's all good.
Yeah, I'm not a tech guy, so I thought you were talking about multiple versus...
Multiverse, yeah.
Multiple universes.
Well, let's go there.
हाँ, मैंने वो सोचा.
I didn't mean that, but let's talk about that.
Let's talk about what you want to talk about.
Go for it.
What exactly this was?
So basically, you know how up until now we had Internet 2.0, right? Now it's going to be 3.0, where it's like multiverse, NFTs, digital artwork, all these things are going to be there, blockchains. How do you think scientist community is going to surround themselves with it?
See, it's very exciting if the technology gets better. It's going to be very interesting, but we need to wait and observe. So observation is very important. I'm not sure about it because, to be honest, I'm not interested into that much because nobody is interested in crypto. But after down the lane 5 years, I might be a crypto guy. Right? Similarly, so it's basically like that.
Yeah.
So people consider, even if you ask me, I don't have any interest in multiverse, to be honest, because I don't understand about it. I don't understand what are stocks, but I still have a demat account and I do invest into stocks. I don't know what are stocks. Just because...
Did you get a kick out of it?
No, because everybody was doing stocks.
Okay.
Dude, what the heck is one stock? ये stocks होता क्या है?
Right.
मैंने खोला Zerodha. Right. Interestingly, I was on conversation with one of the founders of Zerodha, and I was in Bangalore. I was discussing with these guys. Everybody on the table, nobody is discussing something like ये वो MRF ये है क्या भाई?
Yeah, I want to know.
बना लिया मैंने कर लिया and all. That's how it started. So everything just comes in a very interesting manner. Even if you see the foundation of Google Lens, if I remember the story correctly, the Google Lens story came up because one day a guy was drunk in a bar when he was giving his money. He's the queen in England. He saw the queen standing in front of him. As soon as he saw the person in the currency, he saw that the person is standing in front of him. And he was fully drunk. Then he got the idea, what if I take a camera and if I put something and it tells me what it is? That's how Google Lens came to its place. So I know a lot of startup stories which happen in front of me.
Yeah.
from urban company to a lot of startups. I know people who founded those. I know their story. Nothing has been very concrete. They never wanted to do what they wanted.
Right.
Even if the most
trial.
crazy tech company, Facebook, if you look at Zuckerberg's story, he never wanted to play. He was just a fun play in college. Ended up to be a billionaire.
Watch Social Network, guys.
So it's I never saw Social Network, but I remember his story. So it's basically like that. So multiverses in 3.0 that you're talking, I've heard about it, but it's exciting, as I say. But everything comes to places. Even if you look at Elon Musk, astronomers are very annoyed with him. They don't like him. Not because he's not doing good, because his satellite networks, Starlink, are ruining the night skies. He's sending thousands and thousands of satellites which are moving in one straight line and which are not giving us accurate data, because all of them are very shiny. And it comes in the telescope's data. Wow. So astronomy community requested Elon Musk to make sure that the satellites, they don't look shiny to the Earth. And that's when he decided that he will pull up his satellites a little up and change a little orbital path. They don't look shiny. He has also apologized to many astronomers for this mess up. But he's not stopping at it. But that's his problem. So in a real world simulation, Elon Musk is a hero. But when you come to us, when you ask us, he's not our hero. He's creating more mess than it was earlier. Because for an observation astronomer like me, if there are so many satellites which comes in the night sky, it's impossible for me to get any data. Because there is so many of satellites are passing.
It's acting like a barrier.
With the stars in the universe. Because camera's work is to capture every single thing which is moving. And imagine if thousands of satellites are coming at one time, then I can't see a star. Then I need to get my cameras out from the telescope, out from the Earth. It requires money. It requires budget. Who's going to invest it? Nobody. So it's a big debate.
That's true, man. Wow, this has been a ride. Tell me. Well, I'll round it up real quick because I want to be respectful of your time. Just one thing that this podcast has sort of taken upon as a responsibility. You've had a taste for success pretty early on, right? You've tasted, you've chewed it, you've thrown the chewing gum out of your mouth, and you've kept your work going on the ground, out there, meeting people, talking to them, promoting good work, promoting innovative thinking. Tell me about your mental health. How have, if you've had any struggles, and what is it for a 21-year-old astronomy superstar from India, Aryan Mishra? What's life like, man? What's under that scalp? What's going on? Talk to us.
Yeah, dude. Like, to be honest, what is interesting is that mental health, see, it's important, I understand, but not everybody can afford it. And if you ask me, I can't afford a therapist if I have to take it on a longer run. I'm glad that I'm going to a college which is providing me a therapy. I took therapy. It's not like I never took therapy. I took therapy. But I have a more clumsy life where even if I take therapy, things will not get solved. When you come on ground, if you start dealing with this crap, yesterday I got a call that a cow was hit from a truck made a hit. Day before yesterday, I got a call from a sarpanch says that the villagers have locked me inside my house. Yeah, today morning I got a call of some other issues. So I have seen dead bodies. I have seen what in my life. I have seen blood bath. I have seen like 40-45 dead bodies lined up with me, and I'm using my Instagram just sitting on one of the next board. So my job has made me, in Hindi we say buzdil. If somebody cuts somebody in front of me, I will not hesitate and watch it. I don't mind, because my life has been like that. Because I've spent my life in jungles, I've spent my youth in doing that I had not to do. So when I look at Instagram and I look at people partying, people going to Dubai or people going anywhere else, I feel like why I can't do this? I can do it. It's all about money. It's all about choices that you make. I made a wrong choice, and
that's subjective. Wrong. That was your choice.
it's
Yeah.
again, it's another debate. But when it comes to mental health and all that, I totally appreciate it. But I don't think I have an expertise to hold about that. How exactly I can speak about mental health. But what is important is that what I have seen, most of the people who end up living a very miserable life is because sometimes they have made it, sometimes they never chose it, but they got it because they were trapped in it, and they had something that they were trapped in it. I've seen it. When I was working for one of the units, I used to deal with cases. I used to deal with domestic violence cases, and I have dealt with a lot of rape cases, and most of the domestic violence cases that I've dealt with, I've noticed that they had a choice to leave, but they didn't left.
But
They have their own certain issues.
Yeah.
That's a different
I mean,
story.
that comes with the capability. But tell me this, like, you're working with the government.
Yeah.
Is our government not bothered about the workers' mental health being? I mean, this is a platform to put it out there, because if not, then implements can be made, changes can happen. Lives and environments can be healthier. And we need that.
See, if you look at the people who make the rules, they have come from a generation where there is no word like mental health. I don't give the onus to these guys, but I have the onus is on me. That when I become an administrator, it's my thing to make it sure that mental health gets one.
So let's say, if you were in their position, you would do it.
Definitely, because I've been through it.
And right now, there are no measures for.
I don't think there is a policy. There is a department. There is a thing called mental health when it comes to the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. When it calls, if you see the word Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, what does family welfare defines? That's also one of the subparts of mental health. But can you go to a cop and talk about mental health? No. Simple. It is that simple. Today it's my duty day. Today it's all my duty, but I've given my office chutti job. Because I understand they need off. Saturday, Sunday is something that I've given them off. You just enjoy, no problem. You need to come. Because I understand it. Others guys are not understanding it. I have seen worse. The biggest mess that we have made is in the armed forces. We have told them, you don't have to be happy, you don't have to be sad. Just you have to focus on one aim. That's it. That's the sad story of special forces and all that. It's not like they're not emotional, they are not well-being. But they can't show their emotional well-being, which is dangerous.
Yeah.
So, it's the kind of environment. Today, we are talking about mental health because we are privileged. Can I go to an auto guy and speak about mental health? For him, it's bullshit. What is mental? Nothing is mental.
You gotta eat first.
Yeah. For him, it's the caretaker of this place where we are right now shooting this. He doesn't understand all this. For him, it's two things. 2 times alcohol, once in the morning and in the night. He said that's what his career is. Simple. He gets paid to clean all this place, his 9,000 salary, he doesn't care what happens in the world. For him, it's his own, for him, that is happiness. What he does. So, what's it like that?
Yeah, man, it's a sad and a difficult state that we're in. And I'm sure some things that have not been talked about, they're coming to light, and you guys listening out there, we need to take one step further. We need to keep striking the stone with the hammer, one time, every day, That's how you're going to carve it. These platforms, share it with the people that you think need awareness for this. I'm talking to Aryan Mishra here today as I leave you guys with this valuable conversation. Comment below. How did you feel? Let us know. Subscribe to the channel. See you on the other side. Thanks, Aryan.
Thank you, Vivek. This was really great speaking to you.